Hey everybody, welcome to The Dose. My name is Brian. I told you there were some changes coming. Now, some folks were asking me about, well, what kind of changes can we expect, Brian? I mean, what do you anticipate? And one of the things that we're going to be doing is moving the Daily Dose from just simply a blogcast, if you will, to actually a live podcast. And that's one of the directions that we want to go. We want to start bringing folks in and start doing interviews and things like that. And so we're going to turn the Daily Dose into something much, much bigger. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about how it grows. I'm excited about expanding that out. I got my Aerosmith starter kit hanging from my microphone. It doubles as an amateur's musician's setup, okay? But yeah, we're definitely going to start taking this to a new level. So you're going to start seeing a lot of changes now. One of the things is going to be the sound quality should be significantly better now that we're using condenser microphones and compressors and that sort of thing. And then in addition, what you're going to find is that the Daily Dose is going to still be posted in a blogcast kind of format, but it's actually going to be clips of some of the live podcast stuff that we do. And then there'll be links available there for you to go to the live podcast and get plugged in and get RSS feeds for the live podcast and that sort of thing. So I'm excited about where the Daily Dose is going, and I'm excited about what this is evolving into, and this has kind of been the long-term vision of all of this anyway. So really exciting stuff. One of the things that I wanted to talk with you guys about today is simply the idea that if, you hear people all the time say, you got to love what you do. Donald Trump is famous for saying that. You got to love what you do. But what exactly does that mean? I mean, to love what you do, does that mean you just get into whatever job you can get into and then you just got to find a way to love it? Or does that mean you got to find what you love and then do that? And I think the answer lies in both, really. What you have to do is, if you really, truly want to be successful, you're never going to get successful doing what you're doing, putting in an average effort. And you're never going to put in more than an average effort if you don't have passion for what you're doing. And you're never going to have passion for what you're doing if you don't love what you're doing. And so the challenge is now to be able to find yourself in an occupation or vocation or the way that you make your living being something that you absolutely love, that you're passionate about, that you can't put down. If you find yourself showing up to work 10 minutes late and counting the minutes until the alarm goes off, at 4 or 5 o'clock and racing out the door like we talked about yesterday, right? If you back your car in the morning so that you don't have to turn around and do a 3-point to get out, then maybe you're in the wrong business. Maybe you're in the wrong occupation. Does that make sense? So maybe we need to really get ourselves into a place where we absolutely love what we do. So how do you do that? If you're in a job right now that you're not passionate about, how do you transition into doing what you love? And the answer is, go back to when you were a child, when you were 11, 12, 13 years old, before you got interested in dating and social life and all that. What did you spend your time doing? Some kids were into model airplanes, and that's all they thought about was model airplanes and airplane, and some girls were all about singing or dancing, and guys, even guys too, some guys were all about dancing, or maybe they were truly involved in gymnastics, or maybe they loved the idea of helping other kids to improve their sports. There was something you did that nobody had to pay you to do, that you put your time and your energy and your love and your passion and your focus into because you wanted to, because you enjoyed it. There's a way to get paid to do that. It's out there. Trust me. Somebody somewhere gets paid to do what you love to do. So if you can identify what that is, then you can start to begin to transition yourself into it. So let's say, for example, that your passion was speaking. Like, I love to do public speaking. It's something that I have a passion for. That's why one of the reasons why I do the Daily Dose. I read, I study, I learn, I interview people, and I try to share great ideas with folks. If that's something I truly love, then guess what I'm doing in my spare time? Guess what I'm doing when I'm not building my e-commerce business? Guess what I'm doing when I'm not working on my book and that kind of thing? I'm recording. I'm doing public speaking. I'm recording podcasts. I go do speaking events. And you know what? I'll go for free if somebody wants me to come in and talk. Why? Because I want the experience. See, I'm doing what I love. And I also love, by the way, those other things that I do too. Right? There's a lot of things that I love to do. And I like that because I feel like I never work a day in my life, which is fun. But if you're stuck in a job that you don't necessarily like, or if you're in an occupation you're not necessarily crazy about, you can begin to do outside of that in the hours of prime time when the rest of the world is watching Survivor and The Bachelor and Chicago Fire. When the rest of the world is like trying to figure out what Jimmy Fallon's going to say next on late night, you can be working on the things that can set you free. You can begin to pour your time and energy into the things that you love. And what you'll find is, if you love them and you're passionate about it, you'll be good at it. Isn't that crazy? You'll put the time and the energy in to become good at it. When you begin to become excellent at something, something magical happens. The world begins to pay you for doing it. Because if you're excellent at anything, the world will pay you to do it. And that's not a secret. Professional golfers do understand that. Actors, musicians, they understand this. If you're excellent at something, the world will pay you to do it. Look at professional athletes. So you can spend your hours in prime time doing the things that you know you have a passion for, the things that, as was mentioned by someone I spoke to earlier today, she told me, she says that she's an orthodontist, and she says, Brian, I know for a fact that God put me on this earth to do this. And I went, that's a gal that knows what she wants to do with her life. And she's passionate about it, man. She puts in the extra hours, not because she has to, not for the money, but because she wants to. See, she loves her life, and she has found joy in, oh, by the way, she's got an extremely successful practice because she loves what she does. So you and I, we can begin to do the same thing from wherever we are right now in the moment of now. You take the skills and the talents and the abilities, figure out what you're good at, figure out what you love, figure out what you enjoy, figure out what you would do for free, even if there were no paycheck in it. Begin doing it for free, and what you'll find is that as you become excellent, the world will find a way to pay you for it, and then you can transition over into doing what you love all day long, every day, and make a fantastic living doing it. And that's how you find joy in the marketplace. That's a dose, guys. Go make it a great day.